God, we're over 205 of these babies, so check them out.
That's right.
That's My name's Dick.
I'm Darren Carter, the party starter.
Dick, and Darren Carter Comedy Podcast. Get your jollies.
Gong. Thank you very much for tuning in and downloading this podcast. Could you turn me up a little bit on there? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. We got Jansen running the board. This is Dick. Make sure you do us a huge favor and subscribe on iTunes. I can't tell you how big of a deal that is. Big subscriber push right now. And also, big news coming soon. We're going to be doing our first live show. The first Dick and Darren live podcast that you can actually attend as a guest is going to be coming up soon. We're discussing it. So
where are you doing that? The West Covina Hooters?
Can we get that room?
Yeah, man, let's get it.
We got Fraser and William from Flappers.
William Nickerson from Flappers.
Yeah, that's beautiful, right. Man. Great club.
Thank you, Fraser. Now, I know you said you got to go, but I wanted to have you on because I love having you on. You're an old-time radio guy, great comedy guy. And I was going to tell you, when I grew up, when I was a kid in Fresno, California, my friend lived in L.A., and he would send me tapes of, like, L.A. radio, and it was KMET, and it was one of the stations. And I went on Wikipedia last night, and I looked up KMET, and I saw you were on there. I thought you were on K-Rock. I didn't know you even worked at KMET.
Well, no, I've just put my name on all of those websites.
Oh, that's true. It's Wikipedia. You can do what you want.
You can do whatever you want. So I was never on any of those stations, but people think I was now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had no idea that you used to do the dropping of the ball on New Year's from Times Square.
Yeah, man, that was me.
That's cool. You changed your name to Dick Clark or something, but it said Fraser Smith, also known as Dick Clark.
Yeah, well, I was at that time. I was a stunt double for Dick Clark, and someone had to do it. So I was the guy. Hey, one thing I do miss is the beginning of the show where you go from old Tijuana all the way to
all ships at sea.
Yeah,
Dick, how did you say that? Can you say it?
I don't even know if I remember it. It was a big long thing. It was time to Van Halen's Panama.
Oh, we got to have Panama to pull it off.
Yeah, can you find Panama by Van Halen?
If we do, we can do our opening.
Yeah.
And then what Dick would do is he would ask the guests, "Hey, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?" And they'd get all weird, like, "Are we recording?" And they'd be like, "No, you'll see it. It'll all come together."
Like, give me some cities. Where are you from, William?
Aberdeen, Maryland.
Aberdeen, Maryland. Where are you from?
Detroit.
And you're from Fresno.
Yeah, Fresno. Let's make it cooler. I'm from Paris, France.
Okay. Paris, France. I'm from Kentucky. Well, what it was a reference to old-time radio when they would go broadcasting from New York City to across the country and all ships at sea.
Right.
And so I always liked that.
I did too. And you threw in old Tijuana.
Yeah, because our signal.
That's a lot better than, a lot nicer than new Tijuana.
When I first started doing it, we were on KLSX in Los Angeles, which could be heard on certain times all the way down to the border in Tijuana. And I would say it's from, what's the city up north? I can't even remember. Santa Barbara to the Inland Empire to Catalina and all ships at sea and old Tijuana or something like that.
Yeah, cool.
I don't even remember how it goes.
It's like Wolfman Jack, right? Wolfman Jack back in the day.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. From West L.A. to Compton. Yeah. I'm the Wolfman.
The Wolfman.
I work with him. I got to work with the Wolfman.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was at Taco Bell. After our careers had faded, I was working with him when he was at KRLA, and I was at KLSX. And they were right next to each other. The AM, he was on the AM station. And then they had the Real Don Steele. They had Huggy Boy. They had all the famous old Charlie Tuna, all the top old AM guys, and the Wolfman.
That's awesome.
Went to a Christmas party with the Wolfman.
Wow.
Smoked a joint in the men's room.
Oh, wow.
With the Wolfman. We were both howling. Oh! It was wild.
It's funny because, even as a kid, I knew who Wolfman Jack was because you'd see him in, I think they'd reference him a lot to, those 50s
American
movies,
Graffiti.
American Graffiti, and just different references.
Man, have a popsicle.
Yeah.
Before they melt.
Wolfman Jack. Yeah.
I every time I go to Mills Drive-In on Sunset, I always think of American Graffiti because they filmed there.
Yeah.
And I love that movie so much. And I loved the Wolfman when I was growing up. I used to have to listen to tapes of him.
Yeah, baby.
I always think of the American Graffiti when I go to the LA Zoo. You ever seen all the graffiti on cactuses and trees?
No.
Yeah.
About the old LA Zoo?
That's not American Graffiti. Yeah. Hey! Where's he coming up with these?
It's funny because my kid will be like, "Daddy." Oh, here we go. Go for it.
Broadcasting live from Hollywood to the freaks of the world. From Fresno, California to old Tijuana.
To Paris, France.
From Paris, France to such and such.
To Paris, California. To Ontario. To Baltimore, Maryland.
And all ships at sea, this is the Dick and Darren Show. And tonight we're talking about sex.
See, the opening that makes the show, guys.
Well, you're
I
a little
love
rusty
that
there.
intro.
You're a little
Love
rusty
that.
there.
Love
Dick.
that.
I was really rusty. I
It's
haven't
okay.
done it in over a year.
We hadn't done it in a while,
You
but we're
hadn't
we're
done
bringing
it.
it back. We're bringing it
Wow,
back.
it was
You think I
almost-
drive around in my car and do that? Just
I
on
think
my
you
own?
do.
I
do.
have a
I
couple
think you
times.
do.
I have.
It was almost creepy because you're half tired. I could tell, and you're just like, tonight we're talking about sex. 5 guys in a room. I'm lotioned up. It's a thong.
That's how I feel about sex now, anyway. Okay, yeah.
Well, I used to be on at night, and we had a nighttime talk show, and it was kind of a rock and roll show, and we were talking about sex and trying to get laid and stuff like that. And it seemed like an appropriate introduction at that time to talk up Van Halen, and get all excited.
Sure.
But when we started doing the podcast, it seems really pathetic to go, we're rocking, and hey, here we are.
It is a little pathetic, but why take it out of the show? The other
just
thing
saying.
is,
Yeah, we left all the other pathetic things
yeah,
in.
come on. No, no.
It just seems that people are listening to these podcasts in their earbuds, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I just didn't want to be screaming at the beginning of it.
I think screaming's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe we'll bring it back.
Just old Tijuana, hearing that makes me want
Man,
to
you're
see
so-
a donkey show.
You're so versed in a lot of like Motown music, man. I listened to one of your podcasts with the
H.B. Barnum?
Yeah. The 2 guys, and it was great, man. You guys were going over all these records, and then the DJ was playing them, the sound guy, and I was like, wow, that was awesome.
That was Dick.
That was Dick. That was cool.
Well, thank you. I had no idea. Sometimes you have a guest and you don't really know. Like, I didn't know who this guy was. He came with the other guest. He was a guest of my guest. So
Who did you not know? Because I
don't
couldn't
know.
even tell. There was one guy. One guy was older. I took it.
Yeah,
he sounded
the,
older.
The older guy was.
And he's the guy you knew.
Oh, I know the one guy.
The younger guy.
Yeah, Mike Boyd, because Mike is an Major League Baseball player. So I had him on sort of as a sports guest, and he brought this guy with him.
Mm-hmm.
This guy turns out to be the manager and also songwriter for Aretha, Lou Rawls, Al Green,
Wow.
Marvin Gaye. I mean, you name it. He co-wrote half the old Motown songs, the hits.
That's a cool friend to bring to a podcast.
Pretty amazing guy.
You
and-
shouldn't bring a bigger guest than you.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. And
That's why I brought William. Hey, William.
yeah,
I
right.
didn't talk about sports once.
Yeah, you're not supposed to make your other guests look bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the guy was fascinating, and thank you for saying that.
Yeah, that was good.
It was you never know.
What if he had just turned to him and started interviewing him and said, "Thanks, Phrase. I'm taking
Yeah,
over
well,
the show."
then I would have gone to Starbucks. Kick back, man. I'd be an old Tijuana in no time.
I've had that happen. I've had guests on who host shows, and they just take over the show, and they start hosting the show, and you're like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing,
And
dude?
do you like
This
that?
is my show."
Does it help you?
At that point, I just kind of check out and go, "Hey, it's a fucking podcast. What do I care?"
Yes and no,
What
but
let
it's a
them
little
do it.
rude to the host to take over the show.
It is, but I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to have a talk show host fight with a guy who's
Yeah, I
a
think you
guest on your
should.
show?
I think that's the best way to handle it.
I can only think of really twice that I can think of once that happened with Darren. I won't mention the guy. Please don't mention the guy. But we had a guy on, and he just would not stop talking. He was just, and it was all bullshit.
Right.
And both Darren and I got so bored that we just quit talking, and we just kind of sat there and listened to him until an hour went by, and we went, "All right,
Well, you
it's
know what?
time to go."
We were like, thank you, Suge Knight. Thanks for stopping by, Suge.
You know what? Some guys though, like are great guests, but you wish they would stop only because you have to go to commercial. Like I used to have Tommy Lasorda on from the Dodgers, and he was one of the best guests you could ever have because he's got a billion stories. You know.
Oh yeah, if he was a good guest like you, I would want you to take over and rattle on. You know what I'm saying? I would want to hear all your stories. This guy was nobody. He was an idiot,
Well, the thing,
and
the
he was
pro-
lying to us. He was making up stories.
Well, see, that's what I do now. But Tommy Lasorda, the thing that was great about Tommy Lasorda was he had every story you can imagine, not just sports stories. He had
Yeah.
all these stories, and he's a great storyteller. So he'd be great, but then you'd be like, all right, I got to go to commercial, and it's on KLOS, and your bosses are like, dude, come on, we got these sponsors, and Tommy's still going on some crazy story about his wife's spaghetti sauce, and you're like, Tommy, wrap it up. It's hard to tell a legend to wrap it up.
Yeah.
You had a guest on your show. By the way, Fraser does a really great podcast called the Fraser Smith Interview.
Yeah, I think it's still called that. Yeah.
And you're a really good interviewer, by the way.
Thank
I
you,
really
buddy.
am
Thank
learning
you.
a lot from watching you do your show each week.
I learned it all from that guy that was on your show that tried to take over.
Yeah.
That guy.
I don't even remember his name. Do you?
I don't either.
Which guy? Because it happened a couple times.
I'm thinking of the guy that got shot in the head.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah,
That
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Who was the other one?
There's another guy that He
Makes up stories.
He was. I thought the stories were great, and then Dick's like, I don't believe those stories.
Yeah.
And then I had him back, and then the next time I was like, well, maybe he made up some of those stories. And then the third time I was like, yeah, I think he's making up stories.
The listeners were thinking he was making up stories too,
And that's
because
why
they
they
were really outrageous.
and that's why they shot him.
no.
Wow.
He was shot. Hey, but you know what? Things happen, and you wonder, did that person make that up? That's gotta suck too. If it really, like, Dick said something, and then people had written, and they were like, did Dick make that up? And so Dick and I were gonna talk about this on the air, and it's an easy thing. Dick, we have a friendly bet going. Dick had mentioned in passing that he could do one pull-up and hold himself above the bar for 60 seconds.
Right.
And
I said that I did it once for an audition.
So
for a job, wouldn't you give everything for a job?
And I was like, yeah. And then later on, a couple people pointed out. They go, "Do you think you really did that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I really don't know." And then I started thinking about it and obsessing on it. And I'm like,
But here's the thing.
And
If they have time to worry about that,
yeah.
somebody should be taking a look at their life.
I know, Darren.
Do you think he really did the pull-up?
But I'm serious. I got into it.
Darren is obsessed with this.
I know.
I went to the park. I actually timed myself. I met other people that are fit. You know, I'm like, hey, sir, like I know this guy named Eddie Ift. He could do 36 pull-ups.
Eddie's really,
And I'm like, Eddie, what do you think? And then I go, I don't know, because Dick, he studied kung fu, and and I challenged Dick once to a push-up contest. I go, I'll buy you up dinner if you could do 25 push-ups. Dick did 30 push-ups.
See?
I had to buy him dessert too.
See what happens?
He's motivated by food, but but I don't think Dick can do this, and I'm betting you $40 you
So
can't do
you're
it.
saying you can't do it?
I don't think you can do it.
You should have bet him
No.
on sit-ups, then he wouldn't have been able to eat.
Yeah, William never eats. He eats once every 3 days. No, are you saying you can't do that?
No, you can't do it. I can't do it.
I
either.
understand, but you
I
can't.
understand.
I understand that you don't believe I can do anything.
Dude, I'll be.
But-
You want me to tell you what I went and timed myself? Okay, and I pulled myself up over the bar, and I couldn't hang up there longer than 35 seconds.
Well, that's pretty good.
And I'm lighter than you, and I do pull-ups pretty frequently.
But you're no Eddie Ift.
I don't
No
know.
idea. I am not. I know.
All I know is I went to an audition one time. I can tell you where it is, so maybe somebody will call in and say they went to an audition one time at this place. It was at the Buena Park, not Medieval Times, but the Pirate Show, which is right next to that, which is like Medieval Times.
Okay.
They do a pirate show, and they have a ship.
Without
And-
the drumsticks.
I don't know. I've never seen any of those shows, to be honest.
I'm
with you.
gonna but-
I just wanted to be a fucking pirate running around and get paid
That's
to do
cool.
it.
They still have
Well,
the
you can still-
drumsticks, they're just
We're gonna
parrots.
reenact
You
it
can
for
still
the-
go to West
yeah.
Hollywood and do that.
Yeah.
Hey!
But you had to be strong. They wanted fit people to do it, and so you either had to do like 10 pull-ups, or you had to do one and hold yourself up there for 60 seconds. And I was like, okay, I think I can do one. And it was a trapeze. It wasn't a bar. It was a trapeze. And I pulled myself up, and I held my chin above it for 1 minute. And they go, all right.
Wow.
And I had my shoes off, and I made sure that when we made the bet that's going to be in there.
Yeah,
my
you take your shoes off,
'cause
yeah.
shoes weigh a
I had to
pound
do
or
that
two.
for a Bowflex commercial. Yeah.
Did you
I used
get
to-
the job?
No.
No, but I made it past that part of the audition. That was the physical
you?
audition. And so for the talking audition, I actually got to go on the ship and stand there.
So just think of
Nice.
Darren's challenge as a job, and you get paid
Yeah,
$40.
$40.
Yeah.
But if he loses,
But I would have got $75 every day for the whole years that I had that
But
job.
if Dick loses, you're gonna pay me $20.
Right.
But if Darren bet you every day,
Yeah,
For the next-
yeah.
That's true.
you'd still
Yeah.
make some
Look how
bank.
obsessed he is.
I know, he's really
He
upset
calls
about
me
that.
about it.
Yeah.
I don't think you could do it. I'm like, all right.
See,
I'm
now
in
I'm
bed.
starting to think
I don't
about it.
care.
I know.
Yeah.
Fraser, have you tried it? You think you could pull your? I mean, if you think you could pull yourself, how long do you think you could do it? Pull yourself up
For
over
about
the
3
bar.
seconds.
3 seconds. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's not easy. It's super
not easy.
hard.
Yeah.
What, you think I'm lying?
I'll get my...
I think
I don't
could
think you're
hold it
lying.
for
I don't think
3
you can do it
minutes.
now, though.
But I've got
think
the
I could
outfit.
hold
I've got
3
the pirate
minutes.
outfit,
No
so
way.
I'm halfway
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I was considerably thinner then.
How
That
long
was
ago-
before I met you. So yeah, I was at least 20 pounds lighter. So maybe I won't be able to do
You know,
it.
Eddie,
but I swear to God that I did it once.
Eddie Ift told me a thing
Yeah.
about getting Jay Davis, our buddy, into shape.
Yeah.
And he got Jay. He said Jay was depressed about his divorce. So he says, I got to get him in shape. And so he took him down to the park and had him start doing pull-ups. And you know that he got Jay up to 2?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one was assisted by a milk can. But he was,
Is he still depressed?
Yeah, he's still depressed.
No, he's more depressed. I can only
yeah,
do 2 pull-ups.
I can only do 2.
I got to tell you, when I did it at the time, I was more shocked that I was able to do the one than the holding myself up there
Yeah.
part. But you're saying that's the part you don't believe. See, I will be shocked if I make it to the one this time. But if I get up there, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hold my shit up there for 1 minute.
It's $40.
$40, man.
Okay.
I'm
no,
not even thinking about that. I'm thinking
there's
about losing
a
the
lower
20.
bar that you could like kind of jump and like.
A lower
So
bar.
you don't have to pull up your. There's one that's you'd
What are you
actually have
talking
to-
about?
There's a pull-up bar that you'd have to pull
Oh, wait,
yourself
your
up.
place in your park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's
right.
my place.
Darren's got his own. He's already got the location
Yeah,
mapped
man.
out where
I
the
know.
challenge
The other night,
He's got a camera crew that
That's
he's
a home
bringing
game
in.
right there, man.
He's like, we're gonna put this on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, that'll be really exciting. Fat guy tries to do one pull up.
You know, that could be exciting.
Yeah.
Look at that cat. He got a show.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Come on.
Remember the other night I was obsessed with it. You got in my car and I go, "Hey, remember that pull-up contest?" And you go, "No, I'm not going to any park right now."
Yeah, it was
Like-
2:00 in the morning. He wanted me to
That's the
go to a
best
park
time.
in Los Angeles
Yeah, that's the
with
best time.
another dude.
That's
That's going to look good.
I just want to film you.
Is that George Michael over there?
What are we holding for 60 seconds? Hey, wait a minute.
Heyo,
Folks, good night.
old Tijuana.
Yeah.
Darren Carter, the pull-up starter.
Yeah, there he is. Come on.
He's really obsessed. You have a thing about you obsess over things.
You know, I've been doing P30X.
PE30X.
Yeah, I only do about a third of the routines. I'm too old for the other
Hey, you know
stuff.
I bought P90X. What is it? P90X. I watched all 3 seasons. I didn't lose shit.
Folks, except for that money. Hey, wait a minute.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
That's crazy.
That is wild.
have you got that P90X? I'll do it.
You'll
Throw
do
over
it?
here. Yeah.
No, I was kidding. I didn't. It was actually playing on. I was at a Denny's at a television, and it was on.
Sure.
There's another one of those, the Insanity workout. You know that one?
Yeah.
Jacob Hammett.
The thing about the Insanity workout is you just go as hard as you can for as long as you can for an hour. So why do I need the tape?
Oh yeah, that's
Just
true.
do anything as hard as you can for an hour, and you're going to get a
Is
hell
that
of
what
a
it
workout.
is?
Yeah. Go
That's
run
the
around the block for
insanity
an
that
hour.
you paid all the money for the tapes. Yeah. I remember Franklin Ajay used to have that bit about the guy who came in last in the marathon in the Olympics.
I love that.
And I forget the whole bit, but it was like, why would you even have to train?
Yeah.
You could come in last just by showing up.
Did you guys watch that Olympic runner? The guy.
Oh, that
it's
guy. Yeah.
Cat Williams calls him Tink Tink. I don't know his name. The guy with the fake feet.
The Blade Runner.
The
Blade
the
Runner.
Blade Runner.
Patronus.
Yeah.
Patronus.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Some kind of weird name. Didn't
Yeah.
have his legs, yeah.
Yeah.
And he shot his girlfriend
Shot his
through
girlfriend.
the door.
Or 4 times, I guess. Yeah.
I guess he was really afraid of intruders.
Yeah,
Well, you never know. She came in through the bathroom window. Hey, these are.
I mean, it's Well, don't judge a man until you walked a mile on his prosthetic feet.
Oh. I tink. We're going to take another call.
Yeah.
Good night.
I know. Well, I mean, I really hope that it. I hope because the guy was a role model for a lot of people. I really hope.
Yeah.
I hope that.
Especially when he's not wearing his legs.
I know. I hope that it's.
He's a role model.
Oh, get
rolling.
out.
Oh God.
Come on, man.
Well, that is wacky.
That is crazy.
Did you get that in Old Tijuana?
That's where I get all my jokes.
It's a role
Yeah,
model.
you can get a real good deal on jokes in Old Tijuana.
Go down there for the fake drugs.
Is there stand-up in Tijuana? Do they have Mexican stand-ups down there?
No,
Does anybody know?
they have stand up for donkeys, and those guys are really funny.
But I see like comedy on Mexican TV. I have no clue what's going on.
Oh yeah,
There's bees.
It's a different kind of thing.
Guys dressed up like bees running around.
And that's their
different shit.
newscast.
And there's always like women with
Hot
incredibly
chicks
huge
everywhere.
tits
Yeah.
and huge asses, which Mexican women don't look like that at all.
That's that's their newscast.
Man, when I came out here from Kentucky, I was so shocked that Mexican women look like they do, which is they're nice. I'm not putting them down.
Because all you saw were the Telemundo hotties.
yeah, they don't look
Yeah.
anything like that at all. They don't have huge tits and
Well,
huge
no
asses.
girls anywhere look like that.
I
Yeah.
think maybe in Puerto Rico or somewhere. Or maybe I'm just thinking stereotypes about Puerto Rico.
That's television,
but that's
man,
the stereotype I had in my head about Mexicans.
They're pretty hot.
I thought
Well,
they
first
have
of- yeah.
huge asses that are perfect and huge tits.
That's because it's television, It's like
no,
when you-
that's because of
yeah.
burritos. You know,
It's like when you watch Baywatch, you think all the chicks have, same thing, bikinis and big breasts, and then you actually go down there and it's all the chicks that look like Honey Boo Boo or on vacation.
right, and all the guys have big breasts. It's the
Yeah.
folks. It's like old Tijuana over there. That's why I keep looking there.
Do we need to take a break, Jansen? Is that
Are we
what you're
going to?
saying?
Hey, guys, thank you very much for having
Hey,
me on the
Frace,
show. I
thanks for being
love
on the
your
show.
show. You've had me on many, many times. I think it's one of the best podcasts in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. How do we find you on Twitter?
Well, that's a good question.
Do you have a Twitter yet?
I have a Twitter account. In
Okay.
fact, I got to ask you how to use it.
You just called it a Twiddler account?
Yeah, didn't
Twiddler on the roof.
Twiddler. Yeah, it's not Twiddler?
Twiddler.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that was the
That's
guy
what
in
the
the
perverts
Batman movie.
use, the
No, I'm
Twiddler.
on there. I'm on there.
The diddler. That's
Remember
what
I
he
had
is.
the thing about John Lovitz having me arrested? That was my big
Oh,
Twitter.
yeah, that's right. When you
that was
first
my
got
Twitter
Twitter.
moment.
Yeah.
Which I believe totally. I called him up. I was like, I think Frazier got arrested. He must have had some kind of fight with
He
John
challenged him
Lovitz.
to something at a park at night.
And he-
Yeah, security got involved.
And John Lovitz was like, 60 seconds? No way. All right, guys. Well, thanks again. You have a
you,
great
Fraze.
show.
All right, how do we find you on Twiddler?
Twiddler, it's at Fraser Comedy.
At Fraser Comedy.
Frazer. And then I've got the show with the Crabman on Wednesdays where we play a lot of great music. You got to check that out, 2 o'clock here on the GoCast Network.
That's cool.
Go-kart.
You and the
Go-kart.
You guys go back to KMET according to Wikipedia. You and the
I
crab.
might have
man.
met. Yeah, well, once again, I put that on there. That's how I roll. Guys,
later,
thanks
buddy.
again. I
Thanks,
got to go
Fraze.
back to Old Tijuana.
All right, this is just a break. If you're listening, we're going to be right back after these messages.
Flappers rocks. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll be back.
You're listening to the GoCast Network.
Hey, this is Gary Busey. Not sure where I am right now, but I know that I'm listening to the interview with Fraser Smith on the GoCast Network.
Hey guys, this is Danny Trejo, and when I'm in Huntington Beach, I go to my favorite restaurant, the Second Floor. The Second Floor has my favorite food, and man, you'd have to see their colossal burgers. You need a damn machete just to cut them. And they were just voted the best fusion art restaurant. Tattoo art from some of the biggest names like Jack Rudy and Rick Walters. Every Thursday night, art shows featuring legends to local artists come in, and you can meet them in person. You can buy the art right off the walls, and all sales go right to the artist. After 10 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, well-known DJs spinning an eclectic mix of music, and you've got to check out their late-night menu. Go visit them on the web, check out their great menu, upcoming art shows, and your favorite DJ. Located at 126 Main Street, downtown Huntington Beach. Second Floor. I'll see you there.
Hey, this is Gabriel Iglesias. The alternative Iglesias, not the one that sings romantic ballads. The silly one. That's right. I'm hanging here with my boy Roddy Piper on the Rod Pod. Listen up, or you're gonna get choked out.
We're back on the GoCast Network.
Are we on?
Check.
This is my favorite song of all time. I love this song. All right, we're back, I think. Well, these headphones. Now I know why the hosts. I engineer a lot of shows here. And are all the mics on? Red, yellow, blue?
I think I'm here, yeah.
Darren's not on.
It's not on? Hello, there we go. Okay, good.
And
Yes, the Go-Kart Network.
it's really hard to, I'm doing what Jansen is doing for us right now.
Yeah.
And it's really, really fucking hard. I mean, I've worked at, 20 radio stations. And everywhere you go, the equipment's set up a little bit different. And this one was in, I don't know who set this shit up in here, but they didn't do a very good job. And so it makes it really hard on the guy running the board here. I mean, everything is just like, you got to look 10 different places and everything's
I
kind
see the position there. He's
jury-rigged.
moved from that side of the table to that side.
Yeah, that was my idea. That makes it easier. Jansen and I did this together, and we moved all the stuff around here in the GoCast thing. But it's getting better and better. See, they're trying to do a video podcast of this shit as well, which is like an added thing. You know what I mean? So we got people that come in here. Some of them want to do a video show, and some of them want to do a podcast. Darren and I are doing podcasts because that's the way people. That's the way we have thousands. And
By the way, guys,
thousands of
if you're on the
fans.
treadmill right now, we want to encourage you. So go, go, go,
Yeah.
go, 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 go.
When you're done, do a pull-up and hold it for 60 seconds.
Seconds.
Yes.
Everyone that's listening, go. If you're at a gym right now, go over there and do a pull up, and see how long you can do it.
3 minutes.
And if you can do it, please send it to Darren.
Send me a tweet and
Send him a
say
tweet.
is Dick full of shit or not?
Tonica Tyler tweeted about the show today. Thank you, Tonica.
Thank you.
Saw that on Twitter. You can also follow us on Facebook. My name is Dick Spenneberg. My last name is Spenneberg.
William Nickerson, Nickerson.
That's right, and at Darren Carter. I want to say what's up to Cousin Bucket out there, and also Tank Sanchez, Keith Brower. What's our buddy's name in Irvine that came out and brought all the people?
Alex
Yes, Alex.
and his wife. I forgot.
Michael Rogers up north.
Yeah. Thanks to all you guys.
Man,
Olivia.
that's great. Okay, so Nick,
Oscar.
off air, William and I were talking about. I wasn't raised Catholic, but I know that the Pope retiring, stepping down is like a big deal.
It's a pretty big deal, yeah. It hasn't happened in hundreds of years. I think around 700, but I'm not, 100% sure.
Do you know anything about that, Dick?
Oh, yeah. They could tell the Pope was getting tired of doing that job because he quit doing the cross like this and started going, nah. You've already heard that joke a few times. I understand.
I know. It's just
You're like,
visual jokes are hard for podcasts.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's why I described it. I said, made the cross sign.
I got you. It's hilarious.
I'm painting a picture with my mic. But anyway, yeah, it's been a long time. People believe that he was going to be indicted on charges by several different countries. So what he did was he retired from that position, and now he will never travel out of Vatican City anymore because Vatican City is its own country, basically. Right. So nobody can get him out of there. So they're going to build a little apartment for him somewhere in there, and he's just going to die of old age eventually, while away his time. Because if he goes away, if he goes out of that country, he's liable to be arrested and brought up on charges.
Right.
It's very difficult.
Which would be a much bigger deal since a pope has never been arrested.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Better retire.
You know what's hard out here for a pope? See, that's what you do, Dick. You don't do visuals.
Oh, I'd try to do funny jokes, though.
Keep trying. All right, here's what you do. I got 2 challenges.
I'm sorry. Maybe
try to do pull up
maybe I should
reference
reference joke. Maybe I should reference rap songs that nobody knows.
You know it's hard out here. Nobody knows it won a Grammy.
What's the song?
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Okay, did you know that, Jansen?
Yeah.
Did you know that, William?
Yes, of course.
Okay, then I'm a dork.
No, you're not.
I've never heard that in my life. Have that queued up. It's hard out here for a pimp. But next time we're talking about commercials, I've never heard it. Who sings it?
3 6 Mafia or something?
Oh.
I don't know. I know it won a Grammy. It was, I don't know.
in Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow. Yeah, he'll play it and you'll know it. Yeah,
Hustle
just play it
and
whenever
Flow,
you find it.
Yo.
I don't.
Here we go.
This is a rap song?
It's Drumline.
But it's like a real drum. You know what I mean? Rap songs usually have like electronic
Dick's
beats.
getting nervous. He wants to lock his doors.
Wow, that does not sound like a rap song to me. Is this it?
I don't know, man. I just know the hook. I don't know this part. Dude, that's not the song. What the fuck?
I told you.
God, I love you, man, but
I've never even heard this song, and I could tell that was not it.
You know what sucks about being a board op? Guys, do the different shows just yell at you guys all day?
Yes, I get yelled at all day.
Because it's like...
Nothing I ever do for these fucking people is... And they're all idiots. They're all fucking idiots. None of them know what they're doing.
He's right there. He's trying to get this.
I'm not talking about him. He saves my life. Jansen saves my life.
It's hard out
They all think me and him are idiots.
I know.
That's part of being a board op. God, I fucking hate this job. I hated doing it when I was at KLSX.
There we go.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah.
When he tryna get this
Jansen's like, yeah, I've heard it before, and you couldn't tell the difference between those two.
Fucking Jimi Hendrix.
Well, that's cool. I like that song.
Yeah, see, that's the only...
It's hot. See, you sang it like a dude. You should have been like,
you know it's hard out here for a pimp. Oh, Pope. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All I know is-
I qualify that joke as funny now that I get the reference.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Jensen. That was funny, though, man. You're like, yeah, I know the song. I know it.
Yeah,
Foxy
man.
lady.
It starts off with a really distant garage band sound.
And I only know the hook, so I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe it is. It's like the "Lose Yourself" song with Eminem. Do you know that song, William?
Yeah, of course.
Can you sing a little bit? Can you sing a little bit of it? Are you, Jensen? A little bit of that song, "Lose Yourself," the moment. You know what I'm talking about?
It's in the FYI's playlist on iTunes here.
Yeah, I can find it.
Yeah, because that song starts out. It doesn't start
At
out.
the end.
The way it starts out, it doesn't. You wouldn't recognize it. Because I don't think they played the beginning.
It starts. Yeah, I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
I just played it for the last show that was in here. It's got about 30 seconds of a weird intro,
like classical music,
and then it goes in the dun dun dun.
Because the first time I played that for you, you're like, "What is this crap?" And I was like, "It's Eminem." You didn't recognize it.
Yeah, a lot of radio stations cut that out.
Yeah.
Or they just, they fast forward past it.
Right.
I'll tell you something that a lot of people don't know. I know a lot about classic rock.
Well, no, this part you recognize, but I think before that there's like a 30
Go
second.
to FYI's end, the end for. Oh, okay. But this isn't the part we want to hear. We want to hear the very beginning of this song.
I totally want to see Dick yell at Jensen. This
part.
Yeah. Dick's like, "What is this shit? God damn it, motherfucker!"
Well, no, part of it is communication.
I feel like I've been playing.
Am I being mean to you, Jansen?
No,
I'm not
but-
being mean to him.
Oh, man, he's getting pissed.
Am I communicating You know what I mean? I'm being nice and I'm telling him, you know,
Yeah.
I'm being direct. but
almost like I
I'm not
feel-
yelling at him like, do this immediately, fucking Jansen.
I said play some fucking Eminem. What the fuck? You're going off-
Is the outside door closed? Is my camera on? These are the things I get all
Did I ask for Eminem? Thank you, Jensen. Now he plays it. Now he fucking plays
Yeah,
it.
30 seconds
30
later.
seconds later. 30 seconds. Fucking plays it 30. Oh, that's all the intro? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think we should just start shouting. That's what some of the podcasts do.
really?
They all shout too. So I'm running the board, right? And what do we always do when we come here? What's the very first thing we do? We sit down.
You make us jerk you off.
I say, hey, let's have a mic check.
Can,
right?
can you guys laugh if we're going to do something gross like that?
Yeah.
Dick's looking creepy.
I'm mad.
over
What do you mean laugh at your dumb joke when I'm mad?
there. He's all creepy looking. What's the first thing we all do?
I say, let's do a mic check.
Yeah.
And everybody always goes, okay, mic check, mic check, mic check.
we
They
just-
talk at this level.
We
Mic
usually say
check.
our own name. Fraser,
Hello,
Darren.
hello. They talk like this. And then the
That's what
show
the
starts
other
and they
shows
go,
do.
ah! And they talk like this! and
Ah,
I'm like,
shit.
talk like you fucking talk on the goddamn show.
You just
keep your
severely
shit,
injured the person on the treadmill.
keep your
Yeah,
shit
sorry.
at a decent level. Don't shout into the goddamn mics. Some people do an hour of that. An hour.
Somebody just went into a wall. I just want you to know.
Dude, there's some weird videos out there. I watched a quarter on a treadmill for I didn't watch it for a whole hour, but it was timed for about an hour. Fred Durst had tweeted it, and
And you're like, he can't do that. It won't happen. I'm Darren Carter. I don't believe anything can actually happen.
I doubt that quarter lasted. No, somebody had held the quarter up and put the treadmill, and the quarter was actually rolling, you know. And then Fred Durst wrote rolling, 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 keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
I don't believe
There's
it.
a 2-minute clip they put on a loop for 20 minutes.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I don't believe
fast
it.
forward
You're
through
saying it's not a treadmill like a step treadmill. It's a rolling.
Yeah, like a regular treadmill.
Yeah, like
okay.
a-
I know you're not familiar with them, but
Sometimes they have stepper treadmills. There's lots of different treadmills. I'm being clear for the listener.
clear for the list.
I'm all about communication.
There are treadmills like escalators.
So
Yes, okay.
a quarter would have to be in an incline, right?
It's called an escalator.
Yeah.
Is the escalator is
No.
the treadmill at an incline?
No, it's not. No.
It's just flat.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then why we'll keep
Because
the
the
thing
treadmill,
rolling?
the belt.
The belt. Rolling.
Right. Why wouldn't the quarter just go flying off of it?
Because
doesn't
it's
have
at a
enough.
certain speed.
It doesn't have enough weight to keep it going.
I don't know.
I don't
saw
believe it.
I saw it.
I don't
I
believe
saw
it.
it.
All right. Well, according to Newton's laws,
Yes.
I'll bet you $40 you can't recreate that.
just through the laws of physics, I'm sure it could do it for a couple minutes.
Yeah, no, it looked like
Before-
it looked like it was
before,
for a
like-
minute, and then
Right,
like,
right.
and then, but there's a certain point where the guy like adds other things to it, like you know, like to see what else would land on the treadmill, and then that thing would fall off. But the quarter would roll and kind of go to the side, and then go back, you know, and it stayed there pretty steady. You know,
I think
the
it's
whole time.
slightly possible.
Well, we could
depending
probably,
on
dude,
what
we could
speed
go
you
to
have the
YouTube and just
treadmill.
Google it or find it. I'm sure
That
it'd be
doesn't
on
mean
there.
it's real. People can fake things.
It's true.
That's
people
true. I
can't
mean, like,
fake
people
things.
can't fake things.
I mean,
but
you don't believe something that I did in my life that that I've known you for 3 years. Do you think I would lie about that? And you can't wait to prove me wrong.
I can't wait.
And yet you see a quarter for 2 minutes on a video, and you're like, "Oh, that's real."
You could go to my
Dick is full of shit, but this is some legit stuff right here.
you could go to my Facebook page and watch a video of me shaving with a lightsaber, but it's not real.
It's not real.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Okay. I don't believe the pull-up thing. I mean, maybe you did do it in the past. Maybe there was some, you know, but I don't. I know you cannot do it now. Hey, if I'm wrong, you get $40.
I think I can hold it for 3 minutes.
You think you can hold yourself up for 3 minutes? I don't believe that either. I'll bet you $40 you can't do it. Now, if you
No,
lose,
I'll reverse your bet. I'll bet you $20 I can, but if I lose, I'll give you 40. That's how confident I am.
wow, so I
that
don't have to
can.
pay. I don't have to pay anything on this.
Correct.
Is that how that works?
No, you give me 20 if I do it.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Just the reverse way.
I know you can't do it. I feel bad though. I can't. See now,
See,
him.
I feel bad because I've done it.
No, you've held yourself up like this.
Yeah,
for
I have a
3
pull-up
minutes.
bar in my house.
Then up
Oh,
the
shit.
money.
And
Wait,
I,
again, this guy doesn't eat though.
I don't even
Up
use
the money.
I don't even use my pull-up bar as a pull-up bar. I use it as a emergency preparedness test to see how long I could hold on to a cliff if happened that I was on a cliff.
Wow.
That is
now-
so William.
See,
that is so.
for some reason, I
William.
believe William. He's also super skinny.
I totally believe that too, because when I was a kid, when I was taking a shower, I used to pretend like I was in a submarine that got hit by a death charge, and I had to see how long I could hold the water back.
Really?
So I could totally see him like hanging to see how long he could hang off a cliff.
Oh my god, I got scared there. I think you're gonna say you hung off the shower rod. I was like,
No.
yeah, that would be
One
don't do
time,
that.
oh God, I was trying to be a man and fix something in the bathroom, and I don't know what it was something to do with the shower. I don't remember what part, but anyway, it popped off, and I couldn't get it back on. And water was just going, and 800 gallons came out before our landlord finally turned our water off.
Wow. Oh my God.
Luckily, we didn't have to pay for water at that shitty apartment. But can you imagine? I mean, it flooded the entire apartment. And I was like, oh my God! It was like being in the shower. It was just like a submarine.
We've been hit by a depth charge. Give me some help.
It was like a comedy bit because the shit was shooting straight out in my face. I'm like,
no.
I'm like, this is just like every movie I ever wanted to do. But anyway, frustration's funny.
Hey, William knows about you're into like space and stuff. I want to know about this asteroid. Can you break this down for us? The meteorite?
Yeah, well, it's kind of fun because I think I'm not for sure, but I think in the next day or two, one of the largest asteroids that we can spot in the sky is supposed to come closer to the Earth than the Moon. But it's not going to hit us. They're 100% sure. Math is involved.
Can we see it with the naked eye?
In the next couple of days?
Yeah, it depends on...
This is a Tuesday, so you're saying by Thursday...
Yeah, I can look it up for you.
It's going to fly between us and the moon?
Yes.
Jeez. That's not good.
Well, it's not bad.
It could be.
It's going to fly closer than even some of our GPS satellites.
Oh, yeah. They think it might interfere with it, huh?
Yeah, you know.
There's a slight chance it could.
Yeah. But the science is behind it. It's not going to hit us. But they're all focused on this one, and one hit Russia.
Yeah.
2-3 days ago.
Yeah. But when you listen to this, who knows when it was? Have you seen the video of it? The one that hit Russia?
Yeah.
And it landed in like a lake or something, right? A frozen lake?
Well, most of it burnt up in the atmosphere, as most meteors do. And
they can't handle us.
You know, some pieces break off, and I think most of it ended up in a lake. It injured like 1,000 people because, you know, it exploded in air like the one back in Siberia in 1919, I believe. So, you know.
How does it injure people? The sonic boom?
Yeah. The atmospheric pressure difference whenever it explodes makes a shock wave.
Yeah, wow.
You know.
They're like, "Niet!"
Takes out transformers, stuff like that. But luckily, you know, it always hits, not always, but if you look at the surface of the Earth, populations are dense. And so most of the place is sparse. You know, most of it's ocean, or most of meteors hit in the Australia region or the Russia region. Just by the way the Earth is orbiting the sun, that's just where it always happens to face. I don't know. But,
so watch out if you're in Australia.
But it happened on Galileo's birthday, so that was fun.
Wow.
Because a lightning bolt actually hit the Vatican the same day the Pope retired.
Nice.
And so all the believers were like, "Oh, it's a sign that it's real."
Did you know that Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in that Jesus movie, got hit by lightning while he was on the cross? How do you keep going after that?
Line.
No, but you know what I mean? At that point, you got to be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best idea. Maybe there are forces at work that saying, don't continue. Maybe we should shut down production. You're playing Jesus Christ. You're on the cross, and you get hit by lightning.
Wow.
And I've heard people say it happened twice, but I only know for sure that it happened once.
You think it'd only be bad if you're playing Zeus, though? Because that's...
But anyway, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. And they look for that meteor. They're looking for it down in the lake now because there's money to be had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
there's money to be... Why? Because it's like jewels?
Because that's where all the precious metals on Earth come from.
Really?
So meteors are mostly made up of platinum, silver, gold, plutonium. Not plutonium. No, not that one. That's radioactive. That's wrong.
A lot of iron.
A lot of iron, a lot of nickel, you know.
How much do you think this thing would weigh? Do they know? I think it's 6 feet.
It wasn't a very big hole in the ice. I think that was just one little piece of it. It probably broke up into a lot of different pieces, but they could just find that one piece because it made a hole in the ice.
From the pieces of meteors I've held, they can be really small but still weigh like 10 pounds.
Wow.
Because it's super dense.
So in a way, it's so let me break this down for me because I sound really dumb right now. So in a way, it's bad that it hit your country, but in a way, it's good.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Bad and good. You know what's bad
Absolutely.
and good? Yeah.
I mean, because those are the building blocks of the universe. So in a way, it is good because that's how we got it.
Would you take the risk?
Stuff that's here. That's how we got the water.
Would you want that meteor hitting you, Dick? No, not
hitting me. No.
Hitting like your home city.
No, I don't want to be hit by a meteor.
Not you, but like Carrollton, Kentucky.
When I was a kid, one of the first movies that really had an impact on me that I saw at home, I guess, was The Blob. and the blob comes down as an asteroid, and the local kids go out and they go, "Hey, there's an asteroid! Hit it with the stick, Bubba!" And one of them hits it with the stick, and it gets on the stick, and it goes right up the stick onto the guy's hand, and he can't get it off, and it eats him, and that's how the blob starts. So
And he gets
even as a child, I'm like, "Fuck them meteors, man!"
My favorite part is when they suck the guy through the toilet.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
That's the only part of the blob I remember.
Oh, yeah. Is that the remake or the original version?
The original.
Oh, wow.
I like when the
Sweet.
blob gets a friend and they do a podcast together. Sorry, man. It was there. Okay, that's it. Okay,
you know
no more.
Let's have a no. We need to have a talk. We need to have a
I'm
talk.
sorry, man.
You know what? I help record 20 fucking shows here at this
Yeah.
podcast, and most of them treat me with respect
I love you, Dick.
when they're not yelling at me.
You're the man.
But I come
You're the
on
man.
this show,
You're the man.
and I'm treated like a piece of shit. I'm the flunky. I'm the dumbass. I'm
no.
every punchline. I'm the fat guy.
Never said
You're
that once.
challenging me. Hey, we got this really great guest, Fraser Smith. Fraser, you know Dick's a fat ass and he can't do one pull up. I know you're here, Fraser, but we're going to spend 10 minutes talking about how fat Dick is. That's what this show is every week.
And I love
And
that.
when I get tired of it, you want to bring fucking Sam on so you can do a bunch of Asian jokes about him. I'm tired of being the fucking flunky.
Okay, you're not a flunky.
I'm not a fucking flunky. My name's first on the podcast.
I know.
Dick and Darren.
Yeah, that's true.
Not Darren and his flunky sidekick.
We'll just do do a British edition, and then Darren will be the odd man out.
Yeah.
Since he's a ginger.
He's
They're
a
not
ginger.
popular in England.
They're not? I
No,
thought they were
not
all
at all.
You know what it is?
over
Here's
there.
what it is. I think when people like do jokes about themselves, it makes other people want to join in. I'm sorry.
Well, why would I want other people to join in and make fun of me?
Like that one joke you wrote. You go, everyone wants a fat dick till I walk in. That was one of your jokes, right?
Yeah, I can dish it out about myself, but I don't like taking it. It always hurts my feelings. Chris Farley was like that. He made a career out of being funny and fat, and he hated the fact that was what was funny about him was he was fat.
Wow.
Hated it.
I promise I will not joke with you anymore on this podcast. This episode.
Okay.
But can we still do the pull-up challenge?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to winning.
Okay.
Look at that smirk on
I
his
totally
face.
Because I don't believe you can do
Okay,
it.
sure.
Okay. All right.
I
Okay.
100% you can believe you can do it, Dick.
Thank you.
I know you
I
can.
wish there was one right here, right now. I
Like-
so wish.
I know
There's
you
not a
can.
doubt in my mind. And that's honest.
I have a lot of doubts, and there are honest. You know what? Maybe you're really strong. I don't know. That's the only thing.
I used to be. I'm fucking 45 years old now and fat. I'm so fat that I get made fun of it all the time on podcasts. So, yeah, I might not be able to do it. I don't know. I'm willing to take your fucking challenge. All I'm saying is I did it once because my ass was on the line to make it happen, and I wanted this job really bad, and I made it through. I was shocked at myself.
Yeah, fear is not a factor. Joe Rogan.
Losing is not an option. Failure is not an option, except for in the rest of my life. I failed at the second audition, but whatever. I didn't get that part because I was too fat. They obviously want a bunch of young, skinny-looking dudes in it because it's like a sex. Women go and they
There's an Axe commercial.
It's like an Axe commercial. They get all excited about the pirate boys running around with their bare chests, and I was going for the funny part. There's one funny part in that show, and that's what I was going to do. I really wish I'd gotten that job.
Do you know who got it?
No. But there was a lot of weirdos at that audition. Let me tell you, dudes dressed up like pirates with swords and everything. You ever sat on a bench with a guy dressed like a pirate and he's got a fucking sword?
No.
And you're crowded up against him with a bunch of other these knuckleheads. It's so weird.
Did you dress Did you dress the part or no?
No, I just dressed like usual.
Did it give you? Did that audition give you a rush? Like, man, I'm out of my comfort element.
Yeah, I mean, I love auditions,
Comfort
period. I really get off on it. I mean, I don't... At the time, I'm probably like, this sucks, boo. But as soon as I'm done with it, I'm like, oh, that was exciting. It's like doing a set on stage. It's like being a comedian.
Yeah.
And you go to an open mic, and you got to wait for a long, long time, and then you get up for about 3 minutes, and you get off, right? That's an open mic
So
comedian.
you're bored, and then all of a sudden you feel terror, and then you're excited again.
Right. And also there's a lot of trepidation about going in there and doing it. You know, you're like, is this going to go well? Oh, what am I going to do? You know? It's just like doing a short little set.
Man, I did it. I was out of my comfort zone last night. I did something that was two things that were kind of scared me. I did a gig last night at the Bonaventure Hotel. Do you know what that is? It's in downtown Los Angeles, 404 Figueroa. If you look it up on Google Maps, you can see it. It's this huge hotel. I think it's like 35 stories high, and they have a couple of glass elevators, and you can get on these things, and they're high speed, so they zoom up, and they drop. And when they zoom up, it goes up, and it goes through the roof, and then it goes out, and you can look over the city of Los
that's
Angeles
sweet.
and Hollywood. Yeah, but I kind of have a fear of heights a little bit, and so I saw people get off, and there was a couple that walked off, and I go, "Hey, is that thing scary?" And the guy's like laughing. He goes, "Ask her." And this chick was ghost white. She was ghost white, and I'm like, I go, "Is it scary?" And she's like, and she wouldn't talk. And then she goes, you just gotta try it. You just gotta try it. And then they walked off, and I'm like, ugh. And so then I didn't think about it. And then before I left, I saw another guy that was working there, and he goes, "Oh man, you got to go up there. You got to try it. You got to try it." So I tried it, but I'll be honest. The first time I only went up 5 floors. I went 5 floors to see the speed of it, and the second time I was like, "Okay, I can handle that." And then I went up 20 floors, and then I handled that. But I have yet to do the 35 floors.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, that could be his challenge.
That could be my challenge.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Really? That's how
absolutely.
he's going to win
$40,
$40? Are
dude.
you
Give me
fucking
$40.
shitting me?
Irrational
$40.
fears are way stronger than physical.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
First of all, that sounds like the biggest pussy thing in the world. You can strap me to the outside of it. Let's make that the challenge. I'll be on the outside of the glass window, holding on, and we'll go up.
Oh my. Okay. God.
I'd love to go up.
I have no fear of heights.
I have zero fear of heights too.
Ugh.
But somebody with one, he'd be crazy.
Do you really think a hotel would have any kind of thing that would shoot you out of the top? And
Honestly,
you'd fall
I
and
would
die or
pay
something?
$40 just to see Darren in it.
Hey, you know what? My hands are sweating even now a little bit just thinking about it. But I gotta be honest. Once I kind of did the 5 floors, and then went down. Then I was like, yeah, I want to do it. And I did the 20 floors. I did get nervous, but then it's weird because there's other tall buildings out there. So the perspective, you don't really see how high you are. Because even when I went up 20 floors, I'm like, this doesn't seem like 20 floors because there's other tall buildings that you're looking at straight across.
All right, let's do this. Let's go to Vegas, go up in the stratosphere.
Fuck that.
And at the very top of the stratosphere, which is that big tall tower in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
they have 2 rides. They have a roller coaster that goes around the edge of the top,
Wow.
which is pretty scary. And then they have the other thing, which you shoot up. It's like those things you sit in, and it shoots you up 20, 30 feet or whatever, which is, you're already on top of a giant thing like that, and the thing goes,
wow.
And it's basically a carnival ride.
My heart's pounding fast just hearing this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Isn't your heart pounding fast hearing this?
No.
Let's videotape that and put that on.
My hands are getting wet. Can you prove it? I don't know if I can prove it. But
I don't have irrational fears like heights or flying. I only have rational fears. I'm scared of cholesterol.
You're in the bathroom freaking out on an airplane, but not because of you. I had bacon at Terminal 3.
I guess that's realistic, yeah. What else? You got any other fears?
I actually have no fears.
What about like snakes and spiders?
Oh, no, not at all.
I am not a big fan of snakes. They creep me out.
I used to have them all as pets. I even had a sugar glider as a pet once.
What's a sugar glider?
Flying squirrel.
Oh, is that what they call it? That sounds like a slang for a prostitute or something.
Sugar glider.
It's its actual name because they're not squirrels at all. They're marsupials.
Wow. Dude, there was something else I was afraid of at this thing. I got to tell you. So I did this gig. It was called Mainstream Mondays, and the promoter was black, and it's Mainstream Mondays. I show up. Apparently, by me being there, that's what made it mainstream. Right when I get off the escalator, you valet park and you go up the escalator, and then you hear the. And I'm like, oh boy, is that what
was
the
just
show?
you beatboxing?
And that was just me beatboxing.
How'd they get a tape of me beatboxing here?
Oh no! Yeah. And I get closer, and I'm like, oh shit! And then I get there, and all these people were hanging around, and crazy dudes with sunglasses and all kinds of weird shit. And luckily, I recognized a couple comics, and I was like, hey, is this the show? And they're like, yeah, it's gonna start late. Next thing you know, this thing's packed. I see an ambulance out front with the lights going on, and I'm like, there's a lot of chaos happening. There's like security and shit. Who walks in the door? Cat Williams. I'm like, fuck yeah, Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Who walks in 10 minutes later? His road manager. I don't know if you know who his road manager is.
I don't.
Suge Knight.
Yikes.
Yeah. So Suge Knight.
No
was
wonder
there.
he can slap people and get away with it.
Yeah. So and then
You got a problem? Talk to my
people
manager.
people wanted photos with him, and then there was some other author that wrote a book called Killa Cali, spelled with a K, Killa Cali. And there was just a lot of tough dudes posturing, and it was definitely like a weird thing where I was like, oh boy.
Did they see you perform?
Cat did. Suge and the other guys were outside, but then Cat came in to watch me and told me I was funny, which is cool.
That's good, man. He should have you go on tour with him.
Well, yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, we gotta go.
Yeah, I know.
Contact Cat Williams.
As long
and
as
tell
there's
him,
not any elevators on this tour.
tell him to have Darren as his feature act or whatever.
Cat looked really good, by the way, for the fans out there. Guy is so freaking funny. I wish he would have went on. He didn't even go on.
Thank you, William Nickerson.
Of
And
course.
we didn't even talk about our live show. Do we want to talk about this?
Yeah, yeah. We
All
don't
right.
have a date yet, but we're gonna work on it.
All right, we have a place that we're going to do it, and it's a really cool place. I don't know if we want to mention that either, but we haven't got the date. But
It'll be. Let's just say we don't mind.
Okay, go
'cause it'll be in Burbank, California. It's gonna be at Flappers.
yeah,
And what we're thinking,
probably in March.
no, maybe it could be March,
Maybe April.
maybe April. I don't know. And we're thinking we're gonna do it. There's a little room there called the Yoo-Hoo Room, and it'll be perfect for like a live show because we can record it. The audience can be there, and if they're fans of our show, then they'll be on a special guest list to get in, and you know, it'll be awesome. It'll be great,
Yeah,
and
and
you
it's-
guys will be on the podcast. You will be in. Your voices will be heard,
Right.
and it'll be awesome. And
You'll be really involved.
it'll be. We want it to be a listener-involved podcast. It's gonna be awesome, man.
and this is an intimate
yeah.
venue, so tickets are limited. How many? Is that?
60.
60, yeah.
It
so.
seats 60 people. That part of the comedy club. So that's what's perfect about it.
And if you want more details aside from what we plug on the podcast, which I'm sure we will in upcoming ones, but we'll have it on Facebook, on the Dick and Darren Comedy Podcast group, which I don't know how you find that.
Just go to Facebook and look up groups and
Look
it's
it
Dick
up.
and Darren.
And also, we'll be plugging it on Twitter as well, and of course on the future podcast.
Yeah, and if you want to leave us a comment, good or bad, you know where to do it. iTunes.
And we got over 205 episodes, man. Go back and check some of those out. We got some really
Thank you,
great
Dick.
ones.
I love you, man. I was just
I
kidding
love
about
you too, man.
the blob stuff, man. I
Thank
was
you,
just fucking
William.
around.
I think you both are okay.
Okay, good. We're gonna hang out. Sometimes these shows end and like, are they mad? No, we're not fucking mad. What do you want to do right now? You want to go eat? You want to go do pull-ups? What do you guys
Yeah, I
want
want to eat. Thank you, Jansen.
High five, brother. High five.
Take care.
We'll see you guys soon. Get your jolly.